Hello guys and welcome to AI Sciences. Today we are going to learn for loop in Python. So we will try to learn for loop and then we will learn what is enumerate, break statement, continue statement, range, and finally we'll close it with else statement. Guys, if you are new to AI Sciences, please check out our channel, that is AI Sciences on YouTube, and link is also in the description. We have a lot of courses that are available for Python and data science and artificial intelligence that you can check out. Okay, so what is a loop? I have described this loop thing in my previous video where I told you about while loop. So loop is a thing that actually iterates over itself until some certain criteria fulfills. So we have discussed while loop in last lecture, and today we are going to learn for loop. So for loop actually iterates over some iterator. Now what is an iterator? That's a complete discussion. So for example, here it is a list and we want to iterate over every element of a list. So first element is apple, second element is banana, and then cherry, right? There are 3 total elements in the list. So we will do something like for x in fruits, right? X is just a variable. You can name it anything. You can name it, let's say anything. It will work. I mean, if you're going to name it anything or something, it will work, right? So fruits is our list. So we are saying that for anything in fruits, just print anything. I mean, so let's run it first. So it is displaying first of all apple, then banana, then cherry. What is actually going on? In first iteration, it checks out what is it. Apple, okay, store apple in anything. And then what is happening in the block? Block is just printing that anything. And what was in anything? Apple was in anything. So apple was printed first. Then what was the second thing? There was banana printed. What was the third thing? Cherry printed. What was the fourth thing? There is no fourth thing. Okay, then just exit the loop. That's all about for loop, right? So let's say if we want to iterate it over a string, we can iterate it over a string. We can iterate it over a tuple as well. So if we iterate it over a string, it will take every character as an iteration, right? Let me run it and now you can see that first iteration is B, then A, then N, right? So it takes every character as one iteration. Okay, another cool thing is here you can see that we cannot print the indexes of the iterator. So apple is at 0th index. We cannot get it over here. So if we want to get the index number as well, you just have to use enumerate function. So in enumerate you have to pass an iterator and it will generate its index as well. So here we are saying that for index comma x in enumerate fruits, fruit is our list. Okay, so print index or idx, the short form of index. So here you can see that 0 for apple, 1 for banana, and 2 for cherry. Okay, so let's say if we want to print the values also side by side, so we can do something like this. So here you can see that 0 apple, like 1 banana and 2 cherry, and if you want to, let's say, add orange to it, it will add orange to it as well, right? Awesome. Now what is break statement? It is the same thing that we have described in previous video in while loop. Whenever break comes, it stops execution of the loop. Doesn't matter where it was iterating. So let's say we are doing something like we are iterating over fruits, right? And we are printing the name of fruit, and then we are saying that okay, if banana comes, I'm not going to iterate anymore, just break the loop. So let's run it, and here you can see that it has printed apple, right? Then it printed banana over here, and then it checks, okay, oh, it was banana, so break it. So it doesn't print cherry, right? Now quiz question is, what will happen if I print if I print the name of fruit after break statement? What will happen? So that's sort of a quiz statement. Code will also be available in the description, but you should get it, what it will print and what it will not print, right? Okay, next thing is continue statement. Now continue statement, again the same thing that we've learned in while loop video. It just ignores one iteration wherever continue comes. So what is the difference between continue and break? Break just stops the whole execution of loop. Continue just ignores one iteration of the loop, right? What do we mean by that? So let's say it will, first of all it will start iterating over fruits. For initially apple will come and it will print apple, right? Simply. Then banana will come, so it will check, okay, so it is banana now, x is banana, continue. I mean, ignore the rest of part of the loop. Then it will come to the third iteration and then cherry will be printed. Let's check it out. Here you can see that banana is ignored because x is equal to banana, and in the body of if we have continue, right? So that's about the continue statement. I hope you understand the difference between break and continue statement. The next thing is range function. So let's say if we want to run our loop for some specific number of times, then we can make use of range statement. Let me run it first. So here you can see that we have passed range. We have passed 6 in the range. So what it will do, it will iterate it from, let me add a comment over here. It will iterate it from 0 to 5. Now, why 0? Because by default, it starts from 0, right? If you don't mention anything over here, it starts from 0 and then it ends before the mentioned figure, right? So if 6 is here, it will end on 5. If let's say 5 is here, it will end on 4, right? So that's about range. And that's just an integer. You can do something like add 10 to it, right? You can do anything to it. That's just an integer. Okay, so here we have done exactly what I've shown you over here. By default, it starts from 0, but if you want to start it not from 0, you can do something like this. So here this loop will start from exactly 2 and it will end before 6, which is 5. So let me run it, and here you can see that how accurate I am. That's awesome. Okay, so another thing, by default it iterates with increment of 1. So 2, then it comes to 3, then it comes to 4. It adds 1 to the iterator. So if you want to add or you subtract more than or less than 1 from the iterator, you can do something like this. So this loop will start from 3, it will end on 30, before 30, which is 29, and it will take a jump of 3 every time. Let me run it and you can see that 3 and then jump of 3 6, jump of 3 9, jump of 3 12, and so on. So this is the jump that you can take. You can take jump and floating point as well. So finally we have else statement. Again, the same thing that we have discussed in previous video. It will, if you will write else statement with a loop, it will just print, not only print, it will execute a block of code. Here the block of code is just printing. So it will execute the block of code whenever the iterations of this loop will be completed. So it will actually, what it will do, it will range from 0 to 5, right? Ideally 0 to 5 that we have just learned over here. It was previously like this. So it is the same thing. So it will iterate from 0 to 5 and then it will stop iteration and then it will tell, okay, I'm finally finished. So this else part will be printed just one time. Let me run it. And here you can see that from 0 to 5, this loop iterates, and when this loop completes, then this else part is executed. Finally finished. So that's all about for loop, and in next video we will try to learn something about nested loops.